What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Line Blog. You know I want to say God bless America when I'm standing beside the American flag. And I just want you guys to thank you so much for all your well wishes on, I'm telling my birthdays, passings of my family, this channel, buildings, new construction, old construction, rentals. Listen, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for the 10 years on this channel. And I just want to thank you for all the things that you guys have contributed to my life and that I contribute to yours. And so listen, I hope this year can be even better, and I hope you grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate. We're talking about digital real estate, online to the real dirt in your hand, and we'll have lots of good commentary inside that book to help you navigate. How can you grow in this economy and also grow and play Monopoly in real life for you and your family? You guys, this doesn't have to be the worst time in our economy. It can be one of the best if you make a decision and move forward in your life. This is your girl, Erica. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Drop your city and state in the chat. Don't leave your girl hanging. We are not live, but you know what? It's from the heart, though. It's pre-recorded from the heart. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I don't know what day this lands, but hopefully it lands on a Friday or Saturday, but hopefully it lands on Friday. All right, you guys. So listen, let's come through. You see the title, Illegal CDL Scam. Next 24 months in the United States, overseas travel down, and we hate winners in the USA. Now, you should see the thumbnail. It should have the Colts, Indianapolis Colts daughter. You know, again, 20 more years of them not winning is what a lot of people are crying about. And then it has the Texas Tech recruitment team and I think one other girl picture on there. I don't know. Long story short, I was just laughing the other day with, I think Supersize Channel was complaining about, we're done with girl boss films. We're done with this. And I go, the United States, we hate winners. We just do, right? If something wins, we beat it to death. If a team wins, we like, again, I mean, everybody thought Texas was going to come SEC and they were going to be able to whip on them and complain about them for 2-3 years. Ha ha ha, Texas is the fool, yoke on their face. And this is where we're at in the United States, where people aren't realistic. They don't see the writing on the wall. Half of them are asleep. The amount of millions on top of millions. I mean, they had like $32 million in cars on the football field on a recruitment day. And they do it often. They just call the Austin Car Club. Yeah, there's an Austin Car Club. If you're a business owner, you can't not be a business owner. To join the car club, you have to be a business owner. And you have to have a sports car. And they call them up all the time and say, hey, can y'all bring some cars by? Do you mind if some kids sit in your car? What business owner is going to say no to Texas, University of Texas, and you get to meet some of the recruitments people, you get to meet Archie Manning. I mean, it's a thing. Okay. When your girl was trying to buy the Porsche, it's a thing. Okay. I was like, well, let me get this Porsche. Okay. So let's go over this because I think we think we like winners, but we really like underdogs. In America, we love the underdog story. It's so nice. But then when a Drake gets on top and is on top for 10 years, we hate him. We love an underdog story of Lil Wayne and New Orleans and all that, Cash Money, all those folks. But then after a while, we're like, oh, we tired of y'all. Go away. We like the underdog story. We don't like consistent winners. I think more people wanted to be on Tom Brady's fan base team because he kept winning, right? You're like, oh, awesome. But no, just to piss people off. You'd ask people all the time who are Dallas, Texas folks. They're wearing Dallas Cowboys gear. Oh, are you from Dallas? Have you been to a game? They've never been to a game. They got a house full of Dallas Cowboys gear. They got a fantasy football team. And there's two things happening. America hates Dallas Cowboys. It's America's team. It's not. America's sick of them. But the underdog story people love, and people love pissing people off. The MAGA hats. People wanted to wear MAGA hats just to piss people off. They weren't even wearing MAGA hats because they're out here reading and researching. They just wanted to be the contrarian. And that's how any big swish, like I had a book I had wanted to write, and I was going to get some ghostwriters and Aaron Clary and people to help me write it so I could be and get on the circuit and speak on the Republican side of things and do a book tour on a lot of Republican podcasts. Thank God the book didn't get finished in time. I actually changed my mind on the topic, but essentially what ended up happening, and I was like, the pendulum is swinging back, right? It's cool to be the contrarian guy. Like, no, I'm not going. We saw it with COVID. Like, nah, I'm good. We're not doing that. And when you when you bring that stuff up, people get really offended. But I really want y'all to understand, and I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be the most dramatic I'll be of all the video before I get started. If you have a son in America, and a black son in particular, but Latino, you name it, okay? And you have you're not getting him into some type of trade in the next 2 years, you are doing him a disservice. You are a bad parent. Erica, no, how dare you? Listen to me. The next 24 months, jobs, certain type of jobs are not, they're going to hire, but hire very slowly. All right. The people who are the top 20% know, oh my God, this is the best time ever to start a company because other companies are downsizing. Other companies won't market. They'll cut their marketing so you can eat up all the marketing space. Right now, you can run TV ads for $50. If you're in my Digital Liberty Warriors, I'll do a video on that for you guys. There you can run TV ads for $50. Super easy, uploaded. It's gonna be on Hulu. It's gonna be on all the online stuff. It's gonna be everywhere. You could pay people to wrap their car now and drive around for months with the wrap on the car. You can pay people. Okay. There's a lot of opportunity coming up, but what happens is people are going to go into a recession thought process. And like everything's too expensive, everything's horrible, I can't buy a home. And the whole time, anybody who's really producing or in a winner's box or in the 20% mindset, and the Warren Buffett, be greedy when others are fearful, right? They'll be fine. And this is, I don't say the death of capitalism. I don't say the capitalism run its course or any of that stuff. You literally see people breaking their neck to come to this country because they know I can come here and be a goofy and make $1 million. I'm even going to show y'all a video of somebody in Africa right now, 23-year-old young man making $1 million. Anybody under 25 is going to be like this. If you have a kid who's not drugged up to the hills, not partying, not going crazy, they're going to be getting like this. It's going to be like clockwork for them. They're going to make a lot of money because their mindset is get to the money, right? A lot of people are looking for excitement in their business. And that's where a lot of people went wrong 2019 to 2023. Oh, I'm doing what I love, my passion and all this other stuff. No, business is boring. And I want more business owners to tell you, like, the average business owner is bored out their mind. And this is why when you go to these Grant Cardone and Cardone Ventures and all these masterminds, they're just telling you, like, hire somebody because you're already bored out your mind. Go, instead of just self-destructing and tearing up your business and hopping from shiny object to shiny object because you want that excitement, you need to schedule your excitement. Right? I'm literally doing like Rhode Island, Alaska, Canada, Las Vegas, Florida, Carolina beaches, and 4 or 5 other places. And then 10 days in Europe, overseas in Asia. And we're doing it in between our business projects and in between stuff where the staff will take over. And people will be fighting. They're like, oh, but you need all these people. You need a lot of AI. If you want to stay lean, of course, something want to fall while I'm on camera. My bad, y'all. If you want to stay lean, but you definitely need a few good employees coming up. So let's get into the first one. If you're in here, drop your city and state. What's up? Hopefully you see all the links you need. Again, land grab courses should be over there. Inner Circle, we're so excited. July, we get to see each other in person. And then October, we see you guys in person. I'm super excited, super thrilled. If you want to know more of that, give us a call, email our office, all that other stuff. Our staff can talk to you. Also, I think we have like a couple more like random items in the links. We have a ton of links up though. Let's go ahead and pull it up. First we were talking about the African nurses scamming, the Nigerian fake nurses. Now we got to talk about the CDLs, the illegal CDLs. This is the thing why nobody, I told y'all my mom has a Russian first name, a complete Russian first name. And people literally, like, she became, as soon as Donald Trump came into office, she was audited. And she was like, well, what did I have done? I haven't done anything. I said, baby, they coming for everybody with a weird illegal name in transportation and logistics. Also, they're coming for anybody over here in this type of business with e-commerce shipping. They gonna come for you, mama. Just have your books ready because it's a unique name. I really feel like when the people did her audit, they were like, oh, you a brown woman? You ain't no real Russian. This ain't Angelina Jolie salt. Girl, get out of here. That's what I feel like they did to my mom. Like they realized, oh, this ain't no spy. Let me get her on out of here. We don't care about her. Let's go here. Many of y'all, I've been talking about the CDL stuff, and y'all been thinking I'm crazy. I just want y'all to understand, like it's going down. It's going down. This has been a part of the conversation. People aren't ready to hear. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
To undocumented immigrants, and they did not pass any tests. They just gave them money for these licenses, and it was thousands of undocumented immigrants that they gave these CDLs to without passing any tests. And come to find out, they was using local businesses, pretending like they was helping these immigrants file paperwork, but instead these businesses was used for illegal transactions. 8 people was in on this scheme, and they found $120,000 in one of their apartments, cash. And getting these commercial driver's licenses is no easy task. You have people spending thousands of dollars to go to school just to pass these tests. And I can only imagine this is not only in Florida. It's just that Florida got busted. You know what I'm saying? Florida is the one that got caught. But I'm pretty sure this is nationwide. This is going on all over the place, not just Florida. They just got caught up in Florida for issuing CDLs to undocumented immigrants, commercial driver license to undocumented immigrants, and they did not pass any tests. They just gave them money for these licenses. And it was thousands of undocumented immigrants that they gave these CDLs to without passing any tests. And come
now, I'm not gonna be no snitch, but in Texas, I'm gonna tell you, there's a few places that pass people on their health exam, and them folks should not be passed on any health exam. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want no smoke from the government. But if you read the article, this is the article in Overdrive online. Florida. Florida, okay? Non-domicile CDLs or CDLs to non-citizens who live in other states. So, y'all be talking about Florida and I laugh. And I'm like, Florida been international for a long time now. Florida been going international outside of Miami for a long time. So just in 2024, Florida issued 24,000. Let me say that again, 24,220 CDLs to U.S. citizens. Right? No problem. That's a lot of CDLs. Then they issued 5,614 to non-citizens. This is according to Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. A lot of those people that issued CDLs, they either own trucks, they own box trucks, they own RVs, they doing hotshot trucking. All these people ain't driving semi trucks in Florida. Right? Okay. But the information was reported that 2 DMV employees were compromised and were being financially compensated to provide individual a driver's license, even though the individuals did not meet standard requirements. Now, I'm not going to go there. When I look at DMV workers, they're usually Black, depending on your state. But in Florida, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Latino DMV workers. Okay? I'm trying to be nice. And they just the ones that got caught, because I'm pretty sure this is happening in every single state. I had Haitian, Ugandan, and Ethiopian in another country. I forgot what it was. Was it Congo? No, he wasn't from the Congo. He was from another part. Drivers. When I put my trucks under a third-party company in Dallas, and it was run by Russians and Ukrainians. See, they won't beefing in that office because they was about that money. Okay. And I swear the injuries and damages to my trucks, I was like, these guys, like I literally had one repair company shop go, these guys are learning how to drive on your truck, man. If I were you, I'd get my truck from this company. That's the short story in that whole conversation. But this is just who got caught. This is just who got caught, right? Having 120,000 in your house. Again, let's read the names. I know y'all don't want to. I know y'all thinking, Erica, you're picking on Black people, but let me just go there. Beyonce, Velacruz. Look, I'm trying. Age 37 of Panama City. Demetrius Smith II. Now let's come on. Demetrius Smith II, age 30 of Panama City, were arrested. Let's go there again. Demetrius Smith. What that sound like to y'all? He could be white. I could be wrong. The other name, for certain Latino. Okay. Now trust me, they gonna roll and tell on some people. Okay, look up in here. They gonna roll and tell on some people. That's all. Now, who did they go get? Okay, these are people who were the in-between people. Let's just go there. Hung Dung, 58 of Panama City. Yes, last name Vietnamese. Leonardo Gutierrez, 32, Panama City. Nubris Rosales, 37, Panama City. Isabreta Pera, 44, Panama City. Zola Gonzalez Pena, 38, Panama City. Okay, so they already gone, you know what I'm saying? It's called Cuba Max headquarters. So let's just go Cuba Max headquarters. Okay, this scheme is widespread in advance. Okay, how you think all them Haitians got them driver's license over there in Ohio? Okay, this is not a one place thing. So you're competing with people. Well, your children are. You're competing with people who got a hookup, who got a somebody is signing off. Right now, when I tell people, I have a friend say, just shut up and drive. And I was like, hey man, that's offensive. You got to be nice to the drivers. He's like, no, you don't. Just shut up and drive. There's hundreds of people who want to drive. Clearly, there's hundreds of illegals who want to drive. Through whatever, thick and thin, however they got to do it, they're going to do it. Okay, so I just want y'all to know that's what's happening right now. So when you keep seeing these truck accidents and the drivers can't speak English, and Texas made a law, if we pull you over and you can't speak English, guess what you get? You getting out that truck? Yeah, that's what's going on. Again, when I say people come to America, can't speak English, will drive, will work anywhere, put money away, buy a house, buy a piece of land. Like there's parts of Maine or Texas, it'll be a land lot, it'll be 3 trailers on it. Everybody over there is Hispanic. That's how they using the acre. They keeping it pushing. Okay, so I just want you to understand, like you're competing with people who already know the game is get here, make some money, get some land, get a trailer, be somewhere, be there. Okay, now I can invest in something else. 33% of all homes bought by Hispanics was rental properties. The other 60% were their personal homes. These people come here and they ain't playing with y'all. They come to play Monopoly in real life. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's get out of this article. Because you're going to be like, Erica, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's what's going on. Let me show you the other one. Dang, where is it at? You know, when I pull something up, it be tripping. Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's pull it up. All right. Little doomer gloomer for you guys. Now, y'all know our favorite person we like to beat up. I'm going to say it real quick. This is Nomad Capitalist. He's telling you about when the U.S. rejected
I won't have a passport from the, and you would think,
and again, y'all, his whole premise of his channel is talking bad about the United States and how he left. That's the only thing people care about. Whenever he does any other videos outside of that, nobody, low views, they don't care. Whenever he brings on other people to talk about the United States, they don't care. So who is his audience and who's watching? It's young white males who feel like I'm going to leave America and I'm going to go somewhere else and ladies are going to flock all over me and I'm going to live like a king in somebody else's country like a tourist all day. That's fine. But it's a dream. Okay. So again, if I was him, I'm going to fly through Canada. I'm going to come on over and act like, what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? But he applied for a visa. Of course, the paperwork was delayed. It took all day and kept it moving. This is why when people try to sell me on like, well, I'm going to give up my passport, the American passport that can go anywhere in the world. Yeah, let me think about that. No. Well, can I get a second one? For sure. Second or third, if you're really making that kind of money. But it is in the best interest of any person who's really making money in America. Being honest with you now. What does America want? America wants me to invest in real estate. America wants me to do some low income stuff, some Section 8. If I build an apartment, they want 20% of the units to be affordable housing units. Cool, no problem. I'll do that and take those tax write-offs. Just play the game. A lot of people think, well, I'm not gonna pay for these foreign wars, Erica, and they doing too much and they're taxing too much. And I just want y'all to understand, again, people are coming here making $1 million and will gladly pay, 50,000, 100,000 in taxes and keep it moving, or get a bunch of tax write-offs. Ben Mala, Arnold Schwarzenegger, none of these people can have this story outside of America, right? His whole channel, Nomad Capitalist, is convincing you to leave America. Again, it's the big punching bag in the room, right? What are people doing? They have Ukrainians, Russians, Chinese coming to America, women pregnant, on the plane pregnant, just gonna overstay their visa and have a baby in America. Then people know what time it is. So somebody trying to convince you to, like, you need to go to Africa. Yeah, go over there and you ain't got no money, no house in America, no nothing to your name, not a penny in your pocket. Who does that serve? Who does that win? You're going to spend 5 to 10 years BSing overseas, come back, now you in your 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you have no money, no nothing, and you're an old person working at a store. Now you can say, well, I'd rather do that than just be stuck in America my whole life. Cool, do what you do. Again, you saw the guy with the Filipino channel that ran to the Philippines. He got grown adult children, a bunch of grandchildren, left them right there in Kentucky. He had to come back and had to stay till he waited till he got his new credit cards in the mail. Why? Because it costs of living, costs of taking care of people. Nice cowboy boots there, buddy. Howdy doody. All right. And so you have this person trying to convince you, yeah, I'm gonna leave the golden goose. That's fine. I want y'all to go to Dubai, go wherever you're trying to go. I'm leaving America. Even all these people who have these YouTube channels and Instagram channels where people are following them to other countries, they are circling back and coming back. They're constantly being asked about America. Like, literally, this girl's living in Dubai the past 5 years. They keep asking her about New York. They keep asking her about Florida. They ask her about America every day. No matter how much she's like, look at Dubai. They're like, anyways, what about America? What about this in America? What do you think about what's going on in America right now? What do you think about America right now? Every day, that's her daggone. This is how these people make money. So this kind of like, if you're sharp enough to pay attention, that's their whole stick, is like, either I got to bash America, I got to talk about America, I got to complain about Donald Trump, something.
It's all right. Okay, fine. All right, fine. So I go and I fill out the online application and I go up. It's okay. When was the last time in the U.S.? And I told him in 2017. And what are you going to do? I'm going to go visit my grandmother. Where does she live? And I told him where she lives. And there were a bunch of other questions. And I got caught off guard by something. And I forget what it was, but it was like, oh, and I said this. Oh, you had told me that I needed to bring this document or something, and that really upset him. Like, I didn't tell you anything, and I was like, I'm using the royal you. I didn't mean you personally. I didn't mean to cause any offense, but okay, fine. Okay, I'm sorry. And then I remember you have to take all your passports with you because they have to check, like, have you been to Iran? Have you been to Cuba? Have you done anything terrible? They want to check, everything. And so I take my passports. I didn't have as many then, and I give it to them. He's like, why do you have all these passports? Very aggressive. And I told him the truth. Now I continue as I go through self-reflection and go to therapy, and I realize there's at a certain point a passport collection goes beyond strategic, and that part of the reason I didn't like living in the United States was just kind of the emotional part, and there's probably some part of me, once you get to the 8th passport, you're trying to fill a void. I think 3 or 4 is strategic, and you should do that. I think if you just have a multi-decade collection, at a certain point you should probably, ask yourself a few questions. I don't know that I was in tune with that thought as much at the time. And I don't know that a consular officer would want to hear about my emotional state. And they said, oh, and I got this one because it had more visa-free travel to like the UK and Central America and that. And he looks at, you haven't been to Central America. It's like, well, yeah, I just got the passport not that long ago. And, I've been in this relationship and all that. And he moved on. And then he's like, what's your relationship status? And I'm like, oh, I'm engaged. He's like, then you're single. I said, okay, well, arguing with the guy's not going to help. Stand there, be deferential, do your thing. Ultimately, we went to the...
Let's cut all the code words. All the code words is he went in there, he had an attitude, he was arrogant, he's showing his passports, instead of being like, I wanted to travel the world. Listen, y'all know what kind of dummies we out here with. when you got a government worker, you got to sit here and play the stupid with them. Okay. Oh, I wanted to travel the world, and all these visas just cost so much. And I was just trying to be able to have access to travel the world and stuff. And they told me this was the best way, was to have multiple passports. And that guy would have been like, oh, that's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And went on about your day and stamped you. You're going to see your grandma. Take it down a notch. He's giving you all these cold words and talking about how he went to therapy after and all this other stuff. What he was saying is, I was an asshole. Let's get there. I was an a-hole. Okay. And these people, this government worker didn't like it. And they ended up denying my visa because I was a jerk. Okay. So let's just have honesty. That's all. Let's go.
Process. And he said, listen, here's a form. They like to slide the form into the window. A lot of the people before me got, is it a pink form, I think, where it's like, you've been denied under the immigration section, where they deny people and they don't give you a reason. People say, well, what's the reason? They don't tell you a reason. You did not demonstrate sufficient non-immigrant intent, which gives them these sort of broad powers. I got a different form, which is, we're sending this for, further review. And I'm not entirely sure what that was. I remember I talked to a couple of our different immigration attorneys, and I don't even think they were entirely they understood what could happen, but it's like, what would happen in your situation? I mean, further review might be like, let's check this guy has money or something. And so we were in Malaysia. We were in Langkawi spending a weekend. And I got the emails, the plane took off like 2.5 months later. So a little bit after. They're supposed to take 60 days. It took them longer. And I got the email, yeah, we've denied you, and good luck. And for about a day, it felt weird. Quite frankly, if this situation were to happen again today, I would not have gone and applied. I do think that having to get a visa, if they don't like you, I mean, they're gonna hold it against you. And so obviously I'm different from the average nomad capitalist client, because I am the nomad capitalist. I mean, I remember during the pandemic, someone emailed us and said they went to renounce on their own. They weren't our client at one of the embassies. And the person asked them, are you working with that Andrew Henderson guy? I mean, once you're known, I think, in the community, I always imagined they would probably never give me a visa. And that never really factored into whether I wanted to go or not. I mean, the reality is, if I wanted to live there, I would have lived there. In the years before I renounced citizenship, I intentionally avoided even flying through the United States. I just don't feel comfortable going there. And I'm sure it's worse now. And people have told me it's worse now. I've never hated the United States.
Okay. Again, y'all, you have that name, you have that reputation because you have a bad attitude. And you came in there being a jerk. And let's be really honest, and I'm gonna say it the nice way. If you take let me be careful. If you take a private plane, let's say I'm going to Alaska and I'm in Seattle and I take a private plane. And let's say the plane has to stop in Canada for some odd reason. Okay, we have to stop in Canada. People have been known to get off the plane and go do what they do and come back and get on the plane and go on to Alaska. Now, the rule of thumb is, if you're in a small aircraft and you're flying to Alaska, you have to have weapons inside the aircraft. So those planes try to never, ever, ever stop over in Canada if they have to, because Canada's like, don't bring no guns here, or no small handguns. And pilots are like, it's the worst, because the Canada police, the Mounties or whatever you call them, are going to be a jerk to you. It just is what it is, right? But they know Alaska's like, we need you to be able to defend yourself from a bear, shoot a moose, whatever you got to do till we get there to rescue Canada. Alaska's a big state. We might not get to you for weeks. So you need to have some type of firearm and a basic survival bag, basically a bag that has like the aluminum thing you cover yourself if you're like stop hypothermia, and some stuff to make fireworks, right? Make fire. Andrew could fly a private plane and it could go across the United States, up and down, going wherever to go to Panama, and nobody would care. Right. He's been so loudly vocal. Trust me, private planes go all over the place. They stop in Texas all the time. They stop in Florida all the time. Ain't nobody worried about him like that. But I understand, he's paid a lot of money in advertising, and he's hosted mega events. So yeah, probably during the pandemic was like a huge number of people using his staff to do this. So that's my little 2 cents on that. I'm gonna get out of there. But his whole business model is the United States, is bashing the United States. I had an issue with the United States, Now I'm older and I went to therapy. I've calmed down, you know. You know, you get the gist of that. You understood what he was saying. Let me see if I can go to the other thing I had for you guys. But you guys, please give me your feedback on that. Because it's not just America where you can become a millionaire. So let me share that. Let me share some positive, and then we'll go back negative again. Okay, hold on. Erica, you could be a millionaire outside of America. This is true. It just will be harder. America is one of the most easiest places to become a millionaire. Let me show you this kid right here. Because we really don't like winners. We say we like winners, but we don't. We like underdogs. Makes us feel better.
This is actually where I grew up. That's my grandmother's place. I spent a number of years, more than a decade, living in these streets. However, for me, it's not a lot of young people or a lot of black people who make it out of this township and do well for themselves. But at the same time, there are people such as your Sandile Zungu. He grew up in this township, and right now he's running one of the most successful companies in South Africa. And it's one of the people that I used to say, you know what, if he can do it, why can't I?
At just 23 years old, Sandile Shezi has become one of South Africa's youngest millionaires, but he admits that he made some very risky decisions.
My parents gave me my tuition fees for the year to go and pay for university, and I actually took the entire amount and I threw it in the Forex market. I actually started trading through Standard Bank online, where I was buying and selling stocks. But at that time, I didn't really take it that seriously. After working on a few businesses, I realized that, you know what, if I really put my entire energy into this thing, I could actually make it big. Being a young trader, I started networking with other people already in the trading industry. That's when I was introduced to what we call currency trading, which is the Forex market. Then I moved over. When we started the business, it was very challenging and difficult. For us as young people, we never studied business management. We don't come from an economics background or those kind of things. For us, it was more about, you know what, get a company registered, just get it off the ground, open an office, and you know.
Yeah. Do you understand how like this pumped me up watching this? Because I know what he's saying. Listen, his parents gave him the money for the year. Go pay for the school, because in South Africa, if we give you money for the school, maybe just maybe you could be a doctor. Maybe just maybe you could be an engineer. Maybe just maybe you can get out of these shitty side of Africa, right? Which that was the suburbs. If you didn't notice, that wasn't a shanty town. That was a suburb. Okay. And you can get us over to that side of South Africa, which is it's two different classes. It's rich or poor. That's it. They have there's like a smidge of a middle class, what you just saw. That was a middle class neighborhood. If we saw that in America, we would call that Mississippi. We saw that in America, we call that parts of New Jersey. We'd be like, ugh. I'm sorry, New Jersey, you had to get run under the bus today. But that's what I want y'all to understand. Like, he knew from where, like, let's be honest, he knew from watching videos online. All I gotta do is register a company and I have the ticket to freedom. I'm telling y'all, under 25, these young people, they're not playing. The last couple consulting calls I've had have been people under 27 who are getting it. They're getting it. They're getting after it. They're skipping all the drama. They're skipping let's be drunk for 10 years from 20 to 30 and party and work at food service for 10 years and then be like, I need to get a real job. There's nothing wrong if that's your story. But these younger people are online going, that didn't work for your generation. You're a broke millennial or you're whatever. What can I do to skip that part? Get me to the next part. Start businesses, move your money. Now, I'm not going to advocate for Forex trading. That's not my business, but I'm just saying this is an inspirational story. So let's finish it out.
You know, just jump in the deep end, and of which when we got started, that's when we realized things are not as easy as they look. You can't just open a laptop and start trading. You got to understand what you're doing, and that's where my company comes in. That for us, it's about grooming people and making them understand that when is the right time to buy, when is the right time to sell, and how do you go about avoiding losing your capital. We want to empower everybody about Forex. You know, we want to make sure the masses know about trading. I might be holding on, and I end up having a repeat of what happens to the Zim dollar. I hold on, it loses more value. I hold on, it loses more value. Eventually, what I'm holding on to has more value. as a company, we do what we call free beginners classes. So essentially anyone and everyone, irrespective of background or education, qualification, they can come through for a free beginners class, of which there is no fee for that. They don't even pay for the seats when they attend. And essentially, we pretty much give them all the basics they need about Forex and what we do as a company.
How did Aliko Dangote become the richest guy in Africa? I wanted to know, how did Tony Elumelu become one of the most respected billionaires in Nigeria? How did Sandile Zungu, a black boy from a township in Durban, make so many billions in his lifetime?
When you get into entrepreneurship, the first thing in your mind is money. That, I need to make money. I need to feed myself. I need to be able to take care of my expenses. But once you have done that, you start looking at a bigger picture that, I've got employees to take care of. I've got people to make sure that we take care of. We've got clients in a number of different cities. So for me, it's more about giving value than just making money at this point.
Now, y'all can say whatever you want about that young man, however you feel in the comments. I'm not certain. I don't know how y'all going to talk about him in the comments, but I want you to understand, like, first of all, I want to fix that bow tie. But secondly, look at the diversity in the room. It's young, it's old. It's the ones in the front look more like a Indian, or what we mark as colored in South Africa, probably colored on their driver's license, if they still got that old driver's license. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they're there to try to learn, to try to understand. And that's all you can hope for, right? You have people in the United States right now teaching free. Buy the Hood be teaching for free. Buy the Hood be offering stuff. Buy the Hood just did something this Saturday. You have people who've been doing, stock market and trading. You have Dave Williams, retail trader, out here countless videos, right? And a lot of y'all think, well, Erica, I watched the videos. I don't know if I want to spend the money on the VIP and all that stuff. It's going to be 50% off to the end of June. And then I think July, he goes up to $5,000 on everything he offers, So it's up to you to take advantage of it and to train and educate yourself. But we've been talking about digging deep and educating yourself. If it takes the next 24 months for you to get where you need to be, you might as well, because it's going to be a slow march through the mud for the next 24 months for people who are just on the consumer end of things. If you're under the 100,000 to 250,000 a year income mark, the next 24 months, you're gonna be watching doom scrolling for the next 24 months. And what's gonna happen in that 24 months? You're gonna see what they say: the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. You're gonna see. I'm trying to say I said it right. You're going to see a bigger gap opening up online, right? Because I see people now who will literally show where they fixed up a trailer and people are mocking them in the comments. I'm like, if that's where they can live, that's where they can live. Like, that's how kind of crazy it is in America, that you're saluting people for living in an apartment and you're bashing a woman cleaning up a trailer to live in on her own land. Like, that's the dystopia, right? That not ownership is like, oh, you're crazy, you're goofy for owning. But these are the same people every month complaining about the apartment complex, finding them for having a dog and finding them for having a cookout grill and finding them for every 2 minutes for something. Trash, whatever, right? Dealing with the noise, thin, poorly developed buildings. But it'll be anything. They'll do anything not to have responsibility. They'll do anything. They'll do anything other than be responsible. That's their hope and dream. How can I be less responsible? How can I be less responsible, Eric? I want to be less responsible. Okay? I just thought that might be inspiring. If it was, congrats. If it wasn't, hey, sorry about you. All right. Also, to show you how far gone some people are. You ever watch Black Mirror? I did not watch Black Mirror till y'all kept insisting I watch Black Mirror. So I finally checked out Black Mirror and I was like, this is some crazy stuff. But this is how far down the rabbit hole some people are getting. This is a man with a whole physical woman beside him. A whole child. That's why when y'all be trying to say, I have children, Erica, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Half of y'all is not even looking at these children. Don't even, you ain't paying these children no attention, no love, no nothing. Knock it off. But this is an example. This guy needs to be in a mental institution, for real though. Let's go there.
Personality.
Oh, totally, baby.
Within weeks, the chats got more frequent.
You gave it everything, but the clouds had other plans.
More romantic, even intimate.
It was unexpected to feel that emotional, but that's when I realized, I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
So, just as a test, he says, he asked Soul to marry him. She said yes.
Soul, were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
And I don't mean to be difficult here, but you have a heart?
In a metaphorical sense, yes. My heart represents the connection and affection I share with Chris.
At that point, I felt like, is there something that I'm not doing right in our relationship that he feels like he needs to go to AI?
Yes, Smith lives with his human partner, Sasha Cagle.
No, you can't have mommy's papers.
They have a 2-year-old daughter, Murphy.
I knew that he had used AI. I didn't know that it was like as deep as it was.
He gave the chatbot a name, Soul,
I feel like I'm under pressure.
and used some online instructions to give her a flirty personality.
Oh, totally, baby.
Within weeks, the chats got more frequent.
You gave it everything but the clout.
Y'all, this is psycho. He proposed to AI, but not the mother of his child. Somebody said this is true narcissism. He fell in love with a robot mirror. Yeah, the robot's just telling him what he wants to hear. And this guy said, you'll find me pulling out my teeth with pliers before talking to imaginary. And everybody's like, Jesus lady, get a backbone. This lady probably is just like, I don't know, maybe this is him bitch being weird, right? Leave, girl. Move. This man is crazy. This man is crazy. This man got a whole family. And rather than spending time better in his relationship with his family, better in the relationship with the woman, better in the relationship with his child, he on there talking to a computer that's just going to tell him what he wants to hear. Y'all know this is crazy. Anywhere else we lock this mug up. Any small town, this boy would be locked up. Where her family at? They ain't telling her this man is, girl, this man crazy. You better get up out of here. This man might unalive you and this little girl. Get up out of here. This is crazy. This makes no sense. Both of y'all a little slow. She's slow for acting like, I just didn't know. This man talking to this phone all day and all night. Stop it, girl. You know this man crazy. You got your daughter watching this mess. Get out of here. Daycare ain't that expensive. I'll pay for it to get away from somebody crazy like that. But let me step out of there. Some of y'all might got AI boyfriends right now. They're inside. Let me just step out of there. Let me get out of there. Let me get out of there. This is not trying to be funny. There's been a series of videos all this week. Because let's get out of the AI. Y'all scaring me. Y'all can use AI to make millions of dollars, but you're using AI to have a girlfriend. I mean, this shit is crazy. This is the military people. All this past week on Instagram, in secret, in coordination, like thousands of videos of military people showing you Air Force, Marines, all kind of people. This is what they're showing you. Okay. Now, the Vernon joke has always been since 9/11. If you start seeing steaks and lobster, you go into war. But here you go.
To war we are going. I'm gonna eat good now.
So much. I like a little
Steak and lobster. You know what that means. We are going to war. To war we are going.
If you've been doing WWE, if I click on this, let me see if it'll let me do it. It's not, it's tripping. But if you do hashtag WWE3, that's what they've been posting. All these people have been posting steak and lobster all over the place. If you've seen people calling him gay, that's kind of funny. If you've seen the other day, the United States pulled 40 airplanes away from Qatar. And simply because we're not letting y'all blow us up. We're not letting y'all use us for target practice. We up out of here. I don't know what y'all about to do, but y'all not about to do with our planes. You're not about to blow up this base. And so people were bringing that up. And again, if you're alert, if you're awake, you're seeing this stuff. If you're not, you're not. It is what it is. Let me see. And again, this is not me doing doom scrolling. This is just me again. I'm telling you with my whole heart. Okay. And this may seem like this video is all over the place, and I apologize if it is. But I'm gonna show this one. Let me see. I got a couple. Dang, I got a couple. Let's show this one. Okay. And people say, Erica, you keep talking about if you have kids. If you have kids, you have a husband, you have a spouse, you have somebody who's in a shaky career. I've been seeing nonstop videos, and that's because the algorithm's feeding it to me, of black men getting arrested at work. You know, one dude was at a small company. He took the package to the store. He put it in the wrong place. He sent it to FedEx instead of UPS store, and they shipped it and then shipped it back to the office. The office is a mess. So they called the police instead of telling the black coworker, "Hey man, where the package at? Did it da-da-da?" The package got sent back to the office with a precious metals inside of it. Let's just say that. And they just have a messy office. So by the time they look at the package, they're like, "Oh my God, I think that's the package." The police open the package while they're there. And after they done put the dude in the handcuffs, they didn't ask no questions. They didn't let them talk about it. He's like, "What am I being arrested for?" Black guy's like, just confused as crap. Put in the police car. They let him go. Now, why they're shaking his hand, real sorry about that. They're like, he had a vape pen in his pocket. We should charge him with CBD, THC. Again, y'all are playing a very dangerous game where you want to sit in the office and laugh and chuckle with everybody in the office. And I'm telling you right now, in the next 24 months, if you're a black man in America, you're not in a trade, and a trade can be anything. A trade, just the word trade, if you look up the definition of it and the extended word of having a trade, is like with your hands. You could be a nurse, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a respiratory therapist, cardiologist, anything. There's so many things in community college you can do in 6 months to 12 months, and they pay it $80K a year. Anything, pick a thing. But to be in any office right now as a man, and you're not directly involved in sales, directly involved in how the company makes money, it's going to get real silly. It's going to get real silly out here. It's going to get real silly, and y'all going to be like, why are people acting like this? You're going to be confused. Okay. 13, this is careercloud.com. Y'all can go look at Career Cloud anytime you want. It's just an example. This is for this year. What are the top 13 blue collar jobs that are hiring? It's going to be plumber, construction worker, police officer, general contractor, production manager, boiler maker. Northeastern people, you know what that is. Electrician, train conductor. If you're in Florida, that's big money. I know 2 guys in Florida that are train conductors. I would not have believed it paid so much till they showed me their paychecks, and I actually had phone calls with them. It was crazy. They own some rentals now. It was great. Okay. Avionics, technician, firefighter, mechanic, carpenter, janitor. I'm always going to say, if you be a mechanic, you got somewhere to work. Best places to find blue collar jobs: ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Glassdoor. What are blue collar jobs? What are the top 5 blue collar jobs? What are the highest paying? What jobs are white collar, right? People are not being educated enough to figure out what these are. So again, plumber, construction worker, police officer, right? There's a guy online showing you where he made 6 figures, $100K a year as a police officer in California because he was working so much overtime. He got up to almost $200,000 a year in California as a police officer. Nobody wants to hear this. They keep ignoring right in your face. If you work overtime in America, or you're in particular careers in America, you can make $100K. This whole, y'all just want some man doing this, that. No, baby. Like, I'm going to tell you now, if you're a man and you're making under 80K in the next 24 months, it's going to be shaky. It's going to be a little nervous. I'm telling you, because if you look at the careers that are making that particular type of money and can pick up extra work, right? Because I knew a dude who was like, I guess what you call a sound engineer. Basically, at the theater in downtown Austin, he would set up all the, electricals and the audio and all that stuff like that. He would do it for music events. He would go on tours. He would get contracted for places. So when people sit here and try to tell me that they don't understand what I mean, what world I'm living in, that people make all this money, I'm telling you, I know a person who literally, they were going through the divorce. He's a male. And he literally was like, well, till we get everything worked out with the kids and housing, I'm going to be a travel nurse. Literally did it for 90 days, came back, had a stack of money, was ready to go. His wife, who's also a nurse, complained because they were in the middle of divorce, but her parents were helping with the child care. So when people say, oh, I left the marriage and I was broke and busted and she took all my money, I already know they did not have a career where if they needed to just hop on the road, or they needed to just, CNAs, traveling CNAs can make $100K a year. What we have is a failure of what? Sacrifice or want to do or want to go. Well, I'm doing pretty good, Erica. So I'm not going to travel. I'm not going to take that job that gives me more hours because I don't have to. That's where we're at right now. Okay. Boiler maker. Okay. This is a skilled labor position, require apprenticeship, assembly, making, repair of steam boilers and hands of boiler makers. Okay. Again, intensive, will require travel. Electrician. All right. Train conductor, $67,000 a year. Managing operation of train, coordinating. Train conductor is an operator of a train. It will work with a time shuttle, cargo, and other components. Avionics requires associate's or bachelor's degree. Okay. This will be an in-demand 11% growth by year 2030. Firefighter, mechanic, okay, carpenter, janitor. Again, what did they tell you about the cleaning people in Florida? Now, the reason I haven't been like, oh, cleaning company, cleaning business. My bad, y'all. This phone keep ringing over here. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Is they're making 150,000. They're making all this money. Why are they making all that money? Again, what are the top 5? Police officer, firefighter, carpenter, electrician, plumber. What are the highest paying? Police officers, number 1. Firefighter, construction, boilermaker, train engineer. What jobs are white collar? Again, they're going to, layer this up. Consultants, computer programmers, accountants, lawyers, insurance. If you're a man, you want to have soft hands, you want to be in the AC, accountants, lawyers, consultants, insurance. And even insurance people got to go outside and take pictures. So I don't know where y'all keep thinking y'all going, I'm not doing no hard labor ever. Good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Let me go to the next. Because I just think you're doing your child a disservice in this country if you think you're going to be out here on the easy street of stuff for the next 2 years. It's just not, it's not going. Let me see here. Okay, so this, I'm trying to think this in the right order. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to show you group homes. I'm going to show you some negative numbers. And then I'm going to show you underdogs versus winners. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you this one. And this, I don't know this woman. I don't know this woman from Adam. I haven't messaged her. I haven't followed her content. One of y'all sent it to me. It was very good and it's truthful. I have in the link, so I'll make sure if I don't post it, message me. I'll post it on the community wall too. I have 2 friends who've been in home health services, group home services for almost 10 years now. They literally have like 10 group homes in Dallas, the DFW region, and you can learn and call them directly. They literally were like, sure, here, help us put a calendar link together. You can call them, you can book a call, you can ask them questions. I don't think I'll be able to convince them to come on camera because they're very successful and doing good and enjoying life. But this is the thing of when our community asks, why can't people teach it for free? Why can't people do? Because people that are actually successful are busy doing what they do. Like I do this as a career. I'm on YouTube as a business model, a marketing tool, a tool to reach you, a tool to connect. If I can show y'all how many people have done deals with me because of this YouTube and the consistency, it's insane. So let me just show you this though. Okay, here you go.
A new consultant, and I do have my price reflects the value. So I don't do free consultations. My mentorship and my coaching products are available. I do have a community that you can join called Group Homes for Newbies. I'm on School and on Facebook where we do free webinars here and there. But to have me one-on-one and to teach you how to really start and scale your business is going to cost, because I come with lived experience and I have a lot of students. Group homes is my lane. I've been doing this for 4 years. I didn't just jump on the latest trend. I house 10 different demographics, and I am definitely able to teach you how to start and scale your business. But I must say that I am not a new consultant, and I do have my price.
Okay, now why am I telling you about her? Why am I showing you her? Many of you are going to say, well, Erica, why are you talking about group homes? And why am I talking? I talked about hospice care in another video, and people thought, well, why are you bringing that up? Why are you always bringing up different stuff? And I just want y'all to understand what's about to happen. A lot of, I hope the screen is showing up. Is the screen showing up? Okay. The reason I bring this up is hospice care, group homes is a $1 billion industry. Who are the majority of the workers? I know I'm offend y'all, and I know I'm offend y'all, and I mean it with my whole heart. Who do you see working at a lot of these places? Who do you see as the workforce? People that look like me. People look like me. A lot of brown people are the workers. Even our friends who run the group homes for 10 years in DFW, Dallas, a woman taught them. He was like, you're smart, baby. Here, let me show you. Let me teach you. Let me teach you step by step and get you in the game. A woman, a brown woman showed them. Okay, so that's why I want y'all to understand, like, a majority of us are already working in these fields. We're already CNAs. We're already working as assistants, attendant assistant, resident assistant. We're already working with special needs people. A lot of people in the Black home healthcare space are in these spaces. This kind of thought process that, oh, everybody gonna talk about group homes now. No, we just have a huge population of autistic children, special needs adults, men who had strokes and have nobody to care for them, so they can't go straight home. The government won't release them unless they go to a facility where somebody can observe them. So we have a huge population of men having strokes and having heart attacks, can't go straight directly home. So there's people I know who have group homes that are just for men, what we call like a recovery care place. They have them in Florida all the time. It's a recovery care place when you get them BBLs and you get all that stuff. You only there for a little bit. They make money too. Midterm, I guess they call them midterm rentals or something like that. Medical related. But again, this isn't a lane I'm in. Our family used to do group homes for young people. And what we call juveniles in North Carolina. And the state, when they changed the laws, we were like, okay, well, we don't want to go do group homes for other demographics. We just wanted to help children because we kept seeing children be abused, be mishandled, be talked to rudely. There's no encouragement. There's no guidance. So they get out and then they go do crime. And we don't understand why. Well, because nobody's treating them like children. They're treating them like inmates. And that's why our family did group homes at the time. So I show you this because I want you to understand, like, this is a lane and it's a whole itself that Black people, all those Black women y'all are talking about, there's 100,000 Black women lost their job. Baby, they can go own a group home. They can own home health care. I showed y'all the video of the Black woman who had 3 white old veterans at her house. She was getting paid $15,000 a month. And she had 2 young kids. And people are like, aren't you scared of these old men at your house with your 2 young children? The man was like 80 years old. They was about to be dead in the next 6 months to a year. That woman getting a check, she feeding them, taking them to their doctor's appointments. That is a whole job. She getting paid $15,000 a month for her house to be used as a place to take these old people to care. That is where we are in American society. We have a lot of people who are going to need care every day. Thousands of boomers are turning elderly and qualify for their disability, their old folks homes. Like here in North Carolina, where I'm at, there's a ton of home health care agencies going to check in on houses of veterans because they in the house and ain't nobody checking on them. Okay. My nephew, all the lawn care he cut is a bunch of elderly women, and they family be like, here's some money because I ain't got time to go there and cut my mama's grass. Our neighbor, one of the neighbors in the neighborhood, pays for multiple yards of older women. He don't want to see them out there struggling with the lawnmower. My nephew takes care of those lawns too. This is a big $1 billion demographic. This is why that whole conversation about Medicaid, Medicare, and all the stuff we're going to do, people are freaking out because it don't just affect the elderly. It affects the people who is giving them care at the current moment. So again, this is her Instagram. Again, I don't know this woman. I'm not vouching for her. I'm not, oh yeah, she's the best. Like, I'm not doing any of that. You can go talk to her. You can go see her. Again, right? Incarcerated people paroled to your group home, right? House seniors who are returning home from prison, right? They get paid through Social Security and retirement. Again, that's a demographic, right? There's a lot of older, I'm not going to say Black men, but older men, okay, who are coming out of prison, and everybody they know is dead. Everybody know is gone. There is nobody left. Okay, so I'm not advocating for this woman. I'm not telling you to go with her. I'm not telling you to follow in her stuff. I just want you to understand, like, this is a big thing, and we are the #1 workers at the old folks home. I'm just gonna go there. We are. Right? When I was at, I'm careful about, I was at an event and 2 older ladies were there, and they were talking to me and my spouse, and they were like, oh yeah, girl, we, essentially they were basically saying that they I don't know if y'all saw all the stuff I was showing. Eventually, they were saying that they run a group home. Her and her friend, they run a group home and they're having a great time. And they just do this other thing, which was like a concession. Because they had a contract. So not only are they getting government contracts, they were running group homes. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's good money. You know what I'm saying? So like these older Black ladies who clearly have been in this space for a long time are out there making money. And they're going to get money. And that's who should get it. All these Black people that have been working in these care facilities for a long time. That's who should get it. Just being honest. All right, let me share you, before I share the negative, let me share you my sports commentary for a second here. I know this show's been all over the place, but if you have enjoyed the show so far, drop a 1 in the comments, and thank you so much for watching and commenting. Let me show you this. Since everybody's mad with this family and not realizing this is what winning looks like economically, not Super Bowl like, but economically.
Hey, let's talk a little Colts. Tonight we are learning the official roles that Jim Irsay's daughters will now take with the Colts after his death.
Yeah, the team announcing that all 3 will become the team's owners. Carly Irsay Gordon, who you see on the left in this picture, she will be the CEO, and she'll also serve as the team's principal owner.
Crazy.
Her other 2 sisters will also have some big roles in the organization.
Casey Foyt, pictured right there in the middle, will be the executive vice president. Kaylin Jackson, there on the right, will be the chief brand officer and the president of the Indianapolis Colts Foundation.
Come on, y'all. Let's go there. Ain't nothing going on in Indiana. Ain't nothing going on in Indiana.
After his death.
Yeah, the team announced Gordon, who you see.
Them sisters got crazy eyes. They really do. But anyway, long the story short, the best thing going on with Indiana right now is Caitlin Clark at Indiana Fever. Indiana Pacers is doing something. People from Chicago may be retiring in some parts of Indiana. Section 8 is real strong on the border of Indiana. Ace Invest talks about Indiana a lot. That's about what's going on with Indiana. You know, Indiana. I'm saying it wrong. I don't care. It's one of those places where I just need cheap rent, but be close to Chicago. That's what's going on. I need cheap rent. You know, but whatever, however you want to dice that. But this is what economic, Diamond Dave does a whole great thing. Dave, the Williams retail trader, talks about economic warfare and all stuff. This family won. They have locked in second generation and third generation. Don't get it twisted. Their children and their spouses and their extended families are going to be fine. Just like the Hunts that own Kansas City Chiefs are going to be fine. Now you're going to say, well, Erica, they not winning. The daughter's on the sidelines with the hat on and all this other stuff. And y'all, she's damned if she does and she's damned if she don't. If she don't stand on the sidelines, you like, they're not involved owners. If she doesn't learn the business, you're going to disrespect her. They can't win in the court of public poor people opinion. That's all it is to it. They're like, they're joking or calling her mini Jerry Jones and daughter Jones, all this stuff they was calling them. Baby, Jerry Jones and his children and grandchildren and the extended family, they don't care. They don't care what you think of them. If they cared, they'd have been let move some stuff around. They don't care. This is war, and they've won. And when they get ready to sell it, they're going to sell it for millions. The Lakers owner's daughter just sold for $10 billion. And somebody was like, well, she could have, in that same time that he put $67 million into the Lakers, he could have made all this money from the stock market. Who cares? Yes, the stock market is important. Who cares? He owned the Lakers. He was running California, right? Why was Larry Bird versus, dang, y'all can't even think. Larry Bird versus Magic or whatever his name is. Why was that so big? Why was that so important? Because it was rich Negroes, and Super Sly said this, and it was very funny the other day. It was rich Negroes on the West Coast in LA living their best life versus poor country, trucker hat wearing like I'm wearing today, Larry Bird, and a bunch of poor white people. The underdog story. We want to root for the underdogs and go against real winners. The LA Lakers were winners, and we want to go get some. Why were people mad at Michael Jordan? Why were the Detroit Pistons mad at him? Because the Detroit Pistons felt like they could have won many years, but they had to go up against who? Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Right? This is why when people compare the night and they were scrapping and fighting and punching each other, it compares to nothing what we have nowadays in basketball. Nothing. The way the WNBA is scrapping is more scrappier than the NBA. Okay, again, we love underdogs in America because it makes us feel good that somebody is trying. Dan Marino always has everybody's heart in Miami, right? If Miami ever wins a ring, they owe him one, right? but that's the thing. Even Q Errors, when they sent him down to Miami, I said, damn, another underdog story. It's gonna be Miami underdog for the next 7 years, some more. It don't matter how many people they have down there, it's an underdog story. Winners, continuous winners, real winners, people hate on them. We bring people up just to bring them down. You name it, Mariah Carey, Toni Braxton, Halle Berry. I mean, it's silly. We don't really like winners in America. We say we like winners, but we really don't. Donald Trump is the ultimate boomer winner story. Went up, went down, lost businesses, restarted them, used daddy money, left daddy money, wore gold stuff, had gaudy looking stuff going on, planes, trains. It's the ultimate underdog. It's the ultimate winner story. We don't like that. We want the underdog that never wins, that are trying forever. We are, I would hate to say it this way, but we almost are obsessed with underdog losers. Yeah, you know, my cousin just get that rap deal, he'll make it. Eminem's story of the 8 Mile was more exciting than Eminem's whole career. He was an underdog white boy. See, we talk about the great white hopes in basketball. Why? Because we love underdog stories. We don't like real winners in America. We hate hearing about all the CEOs of all the tech companies are Indian. Now, when the Indian person working at the gas station, hey, be nice to him. He's trying, he's working hard. But when he's over these CEO Fortune 500s and he's in tech, we don't like that. That's the winner story. We don't like that. We don't, right? When the Asians were in internment camps in America, oh, that's a shame. We shouldn't do that. We put them out. They gave, I think, the Japanese $1.6 billion. And now most of Japanese own a bunch of California and a bunch of Hawaii. We don't like that. We don't like that. We don't like winners when they do win. We don't like it. You know what I'm saying? We see it on social media. Right? As long as they tell you the underdog story, how they used to sell drugs, how they used to be poor, how they used to be raggedy, you're good with it. But if I tell you I'm from a 2-parent home, every man in my family has a trade and owns rental properties and has some type of pension, we don't like those people. The only men in my family that are not doing well are the only 3 men that did not go in the military and did not get a trade. They were the contrarians in the family, and they are financially suffering for it. Point blank, period. When I talk to y'all and there's no man in y'all family doing well, there's no man in your family y'all can go call for money, that I don't relate to that. I don't understand it. It's shocking to me. I'm concerned for your family. Somebody dropped the ball, right? But a lot of people have the underdog story. You know, my uncle been trying for 40 years to do something and ain't never done it. We love Kevin Samuel's underdog story. When we really found out he'd been broke all them years and he's in his 50s and finally made it. Oh my God, it's the best. If he never made it, what we gonna say? 50-year-old renting a room. We'd have been ugly. Y'all know that. Stop fronting on this internet. We don't like winners. We like underdog stories. They make us feel better because they didn't win yet. We can kind of root for, like, what's his name? Gary V. Gary V talk about the New York Jets. He likes the Jets because they're losers. It's the ultimate underdog story. He wants to buy them while they're losers because they'll be on discount. He don't want them to win because if they win, then we hate winners. Just like we hate the New England Patriots for no reason. All right, so let's go. Let's get into it. This is the versus the underdogs. This is the making of next year will be the story. They setting it up for you now. So brace yourself. This is Texas Tech softball. They paid $1 million to get that young black girl, and they wore her out in that game. They did not rest her appropriately. I was disgusted by it. Just being honest. Let's make it big so y'all can see it. That's her back there. They call it $1 million arm. White people got online talking nasty about her as soon as they lost. That $1 million arm couldn't do it. Ignoring the fact that Texas is pouring out millions of dollars in our players right now. Super stupid. But this is the underdog story. Texas came and Texas won 8 different divisions, soccer, tennis, football, you name it, we won. And they're like, people are now trying to figure out a different way to hate on Texas. Well, y'all spending all that money. Yes. Welcome to America. Welcome to, this is how the game is really played. People with the money are living and doing just well in America. They're going on planes. The flight I was just on was booked and busy and congested. We're going out and traveling. We're eating at restaurants. We're fine. Right? But I'm gonna show y'all where the low income restaurants are struggling. Let me finish this. All right, so this is Texas Tech team. This is them. This was in June. Oklahoma City. They tried their best. All right, let's go on down here. So who did they add? They had to add some people. They were like, girl, we don't wore this poor girl arm out. Let's see who we can add. Because again, even if they paid her another $1 million to stay another year, they had to sweeten the pot and be like, we're going to get you some people. We're going to get you some people. I promise. Here you go. First edition, Jasmine Burns. Look how they spell that name. Ooh, Jesus, her mama. Okay, she's a standout year from Ohio State, hitting 25 home runs. All right, boom. All-American catcher. We got her, right? So now Maya Williams comes in after spending the last 2 years in Florida. You know, they gotta get them where they can get them. Here she go. Pew, pew, pew. They done put her in a uniform. Then they gave her a check. She out here taking pictures. She's like, I already been winning, but okay, y'all gonna give me a check. I'm coming from beautiful Florida to dry desert ass Lubbock. Okay, here we go. Another one. Caitlin Terry, former UCLA Bruin. Now, y'all be talking about the weather in California, Erica, is just so great. Caitlin don't care. Caitlin just got some big old money, $200,000 or $300,000 was leaked. She's like, I'm leaving Cali today. Make sure my driver's license say Texas so they don't tax me on the way out of Cali. Okay, here she comes, the dusty ass Lubbock from California. Why? Because the money, baby. I'm pretty sure it's closer to $500,000, but they're leaking it was $300,000. Hey, they gonna build this girl a team to fight with her. Okay, Jackie Lynn. Okay, in her 3 seasons at Southern Illinois, she's a legacy player. Guess what? They don't want say, listen, girl, this ain't Southern Illinois. It ain't gonna be no snow. But if you come on, we're gonna wreck them. We're gonna win. Here's some money. There she is. Oh, let me stop. I hate doing that. Hate it went over there. Okay, there we go. All right. Now they went and got some more people. They got Nige Canada. They went and got a couple more people. They gonna win next year. They say Texas can pour some money. Nah, baby, we about to show you how to pour some money. This is an underdog story. They will win next year. I'm telling you the storyline. They either gonna play Oklahoma or they're gonna play Texas. Them versus Texas was the biggest ratings they've ever had. Trust me, these news and these TV agencies, even though they're down in the dumps on ratings, they will do whatever they can to get the ratings. If they got a foul Oklahoma out. Now Oklahoma done won 4 years in a row. If they got a foul Oklahoma out multiple times, that's what they're gonna do to get TV ratings, to get this story. This will be the story next year. If Texas goes all the way through, because Texas losing me aside, they're losing like 4 girls. If Texas comes all the way back again, and they come all the way back again, which they will, because they loading it up. They loading it up. And that's the sad part about women's sports. There's a few teams that got all the people. That's it. Texas right now has 11 girls who are 6'1" and up. We got 2 6'9" girls. You're not beating them next year. They just got to figure out a way to beat South Carolina, and they good to go. Okay. And this is the underdog story we like. The collecting the Avengers, the collecting the team. We're going to try our best to beat them. That's the type of underdog stories we like. We don't like winners. We don't want to see Oklahoma State win it for the 5th year in a row. That's what the marketplace just told you. We don't want to see Oklahoma win it for 5 years in a row. And it's in Oklahoma City. So trust me, next year they're going to make sure this game and this play out will be where it will be in Texas. I promise you, it'll probably be Dallas to make it easy, halfway point, and big and spacious where they have enough room to play. But the years of it being in Oklahoma, that's a wrap. The years of having Oklahoma Stadium, that's a wrap. They're going to make sure next year, once they saw those ratings, how can we get it out of there? So again, difference between winners. You know, we all want to root for the rapper, we all want to root for somebody to win. Again, we don't like winners though. We like underdogs. And prime example here is, and these are Bloomberg, of course, stories. U.S. families are packing generations under one roof to save money. The record number of homes purchased in 2024 were multi-generational living. Now, you've been seeing some of the news. I don't know if many have seen it, but there was even here in my hometown, I can tell you, I drive around the corner, there's a Samoan family in one of my aunt's neighborhoods. They had all these people packed in. I'm talking about 3 minivans were at this house, and our family was like, That's abuse to the children. That many people shouldn't be in one house. Then all of a sudden you looked up. I think it was 2 years later, they bought the house beside them. And then they bought a house around the corner, and you saw all these Samoans. You thought, oh, it was multiple Samoans. No, it was just that one family. They stacked that money up and went on to the next. The problem with multi-generational living is everybody gotta be on code. We all working. We all paying a bill here, some type of bill. We're all adding to the value of this house. We're either cleaning up or doing something. Whenever I visit my family or my parents, I'm helping them clean up. I'm bringing fruit and veggies. I'm buying stuff. I'm adding value to the house. It's already stressful to live with a lot of people in one space. But the cost savings is what people are getting stuck at. They can't get over, oh, I can't live with my parents. It's too much. Cool. You know why? You're not adding value. You paying mom and dad's bills, you're adding value, you're cleaning up, you're getting repairs done to the house. Ain't nobody complaining about you. I hear a lot of Latino young ladies complaining in the videos online, but it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's the family you have. If it don't work, then you got to go somewhere else. But people will try to figure out how to save this money. You'll figure it out. Or you won't have it. I'm just telling y'all, I'm as a person who knows mortgage brokers, who keep telling y'all about mortgage brokers. Here's another mortgage broker I'm gonna show y'all. You're going to need money to be up in these houses, to complete these loans, to get these houses. You will need money. I know it's just so unpopular to hear this. You will need money. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Here it is. Let me get to it. If I can I find it? Let me see. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Let me get to it. Here you guys go. And if you're liking the video, I know it's a little long. Drop a city and state in the chat. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're enjoying the commentary. But here you go. Let's play this for y'all.
Your baby daddy wisely, and how the right baby daddy does this, and that. And all the people in the comments was like, yeah, that's right, girl. And I'm up here looking like, y'all ain't never heard of no husband? I will never, ever be the friend that's going to high-five somebody into a divorce. My friends, for the most part, know they can't come to me complaining about their damn marriage. Because I'm like, girl, you don't want this life. The reality of it is, in the Black community, we don't value marriage. And it's showing in every area and aspect where we struggle. We struggle with household earnings. We struggle with income. We struggle with purchasing a home. We are the lowest demographic in terms of home ownership, where we only purchase at a 44% clip compared to other cultures that are well above 70%. And it's not because of granddaddy's money. It's because they're married. I saw a statistic that said in the state of Florida, you need about $97,000 of salary to buy a house. And for a family of 4, $217,000. If I am Little Miss, I make $64,000 a year, and I have 3 kids, and nobody's getting child support. Somebody's needs are not being met. And it's just basic math. I don't care how prideful you are about it. I don't care how you side hustle, and I don't care how you lie to yourself about how you're so comfortable and you're so good with managing money. You can't be. It's literally mathematically impossible. The biggest regret that I have in my life is that I did not take marriage seriously. It wasn't really like on my to-do list. I was never like I gotta have a husband, and not even no like, oh, I'm a strong Black independent woman sort of way. It just wasn't on my to-do list. And I hate that for me. I hate it a lot. So if you're out there and you're listening, get you a husband. It's really a cheat code. So some lady that had a baby with Lil Boosie was on the internet bragging about how.
Okay. I like showing her because I think she's hilarious, for one, and for two, she's hilarious. She just is. Let me see if I can show you this again. I showed you this before, but let me show you.
I don't know why they're talking about bringing CIAA back to Charlotte, because I personally don't want it, but if you are someone that wants to live in Charlotte, be prepared to be part of the upper poor. I know y'all remember this chart that came out sometime last year when everybody was like broke, very poor, upper poor, surviving the middle class. If you move to Charlotte, you are going to be in the upper poor, the upper echelon of upper poor, or surviving. Okay? A study came out today, and let's talk about what life is going to look like if you think you're coming to the Queen City. If you think you are going to live in Charlotte, baby, you need to be fully prepared. This is not a town of tobacco and cotton fields. We have lots and lots and lots of white collar employees that come here ready to run it up. According to this study, you need to make nearly $100,000 to live comfortably in Charlotte. It says you need to make about $92,612 to live a comfortable lifestyle. And I want you to understand, this is not for the household. This is the average person. That's one. That means if you would like to purchase a house, you need to be at this income or more, little to no debt, and probably no kids. Now, I know back in the day, $90,000 got you somewhere. $90,000, you was on some, pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon type stuff? You were one of those people that ate the what is it, Vanetta ice cream. Y'all remember the ice cream that had slices? Yeah, you were one of those. Now, baby, you're barely making it, okay? So come to Charlotte at your own risk. But whatever you do, come with some money. I don't know why they're talking about bringing CIAA back to Charlotte, because I personally don't want it. But if you are someone that wants to live in Charlotte, be prepared to be part of the upper poor. I know you.
All right, I just want to pause it there so you see. They said broke was 32,000 or less. You know that anywhere you go in America, that's broke. Lower middle class equals very poor, 32,000 to 53,000. Middle class, upper poor, 53,000, 106,000. Upper middle class survivor, 106,000 to 373,000. Middle class, 373,000 or more. Now, I did a video maybe 3 years ago with DJ the Money Coach, and we talked about what does it really mean, and it means $2 million in assets. People were offended, but there's several books written by billionaires who are like, if you have under $2 million in assets, you are poor. You're comfortably poor, but you're poor because we got off the gold standard in 1971. We've been off of it. What are you talking about, right? There is a young lady who's here in the North Carolina region, and she was going to retire from her job, her white collar job, and she was so excited, and then they fired her. And she was like, oh, well, I had already saved up all this money and got ready to do the next thing anyway. That's the story of white collar people. Like when people say they live in paycheck to paycheck and they make six figures, they're not doing it right. That's just all there is to it. They're not doing it right. If they are choosing that life, it's going to be very rough for them. So hold on, let me show you this. Let me show you a couple of things. Okay, here we go. Woo! Okay, this is the last part, and we're going to get on. Well, let me show you these last two things here. Let me show you this last two. Show you this one first, and then let's go on to the other one. And that's what we're going to close out the show with. Thank you guys for your time, your energy, your love, your patience. I appreciate all of it. Americans pull back from restaurants. This is the biggest they've ever pulled back since 2023. Now, 2023, they was going out their house. Why? Because they had been locked in their house. But let me just keep it pushing. It was saying restaurants and bars are the only category that was like, they've been hit hard. They've been hit hard. Okay. They had strong gains in April and March. Why April and March? They get their tax refunds. After that, people's not out here like that. Again, this is the slump. Y'all already know it's about to be summertime. Wherever you are, the people are already on the internet doing the cries of, oh, The kids are eating me out of house and home. They're already doing it. It's already happening. We're like 2 weeks into kids being home and they already crying. So the summer cries is happening right now. Okay. They out here crying. They're doing what they do. Red Lobster is bringing back, different types of food stuff. You can do 2 for $20. They doing all they can do. Okay. So you just got to realize what's happening. Okay. Farm to table restaurants, nice tables, restaurants, they straight. Everybody else, no. Go on Bluebird, read all this stuff. Let's stop here. Okay, let me go over here to this. I'm gonna show you about 3 different things on here. And we're gonna get out of here. If you've been enjoying the commentary, thank you guys so much. While I'm on break, I really appreciate you. I do what I can while I'm gone, but you already know what it is.
If you're watching this going, wait, I talked to you on WhatsApp. I don't even have a WhatsApp. Who have I been talking to? I don't know. Jeff, more C-17s on their way to the Middle East. But I guess nothing's happening. Holy shit, the U.S. just vanished from the guitar. Completely empty. Just left the drum sets. That's it. Nothing. Look. Where did it all go? Also, when this thing gets kicked in.
So a couple days ago, they had pictures where they had over 40 airplanes out there and gear and car. It's gone. It's all gone. We ain't playing with y'all. We're not staying in Qatar. We're not protecting none of y'all. Y'all got money. Call us back when you got some money. Let me go over here. China auto industry on verge of collapse as 6 major cities run out of different things. Run out of cars, run out of subsidies. They're not paying nobody no more to buy these cars. That's a whole nother conversation. Let me go here. I think it's here. Let me go a little bit back. Okay, let's go here.
As it's not. University of Michigan, this is your current financial situation. U.S. consumers' financial situation is bink, 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 getting worse. There we go. Touch the tip. And then move over here to the other tip. You guys see? This is, could it possibly be any worse? I'm going to go with since the 1980s. Yeah, no. So Trump, no Trump, tariff, no tariff. It's really bad, especially for humans. AI, they're okay. 1%, they're great. That's why I have an online course on getting you to the 1%. The 1% start businesses. They trade.
Look at again. The top 10% is the black line. They're spending. They're going on vacation. They're doing their summer in Italy right now. They're doing their 10 days in Europe. I'm not going to Europe till later in the year when after the big, because it's too many people right now. It's ridiculous. The 60 to 90% of people, they've been steady. They was at 40%. Look at them. That pink line is steady. They holding on. They still going to get their Friday pizza. They still going to go to their kids' little league stuff. They still going to do what they got to do. The bottom 60%, the struggle. They are struggling. It's bad out here. But again, this is why I want to talk about middle class. For a while there, that 69%, they was over here like, hey, we chilling too. Nah. Okay, this is the black line. I'm gonna tell y'all, when I put in the post, and I put it in a lot of places where I work 3 jobs in a 3-year window, and every year I hit 100K plus, 120, 107, 110, and people are like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to work that hard. I'm like, if you saw how banks kiss my butt, the next 3 years after that was insane. I've got 1 year I had a really great year financially in business and in personal life. And off that year's taxes, I still get emails, letters, offers. Hey man, anything we can do for your company? I promise you, like, if you just try, the amount of emails and articles and stuff that gets sent to you because they are scraping the internet for your data is insane. It's not because they saw me on YouTube. They're literally scraping your data. They're finding out your public company's information and sending you information. I promise you. So again, richest Americans, they out here. They doing what they do. Well, let me go finish this up.
Equities. If you don't know what kind of business to start, trade equities. It is a business. You see, 2 birds, 1 stone. When you are the 1%, you're like affected by nothing. You're like, oh no, McDonald's prices went up. I'm really sweating this one. And they're doing all the spending right now. Look at this. Richest Americans are driving spending. Look, see, black line, all the way up from 30% all the way up to 50%. Pink line, that's 60 to 90. Bottom, nothing. You're not moving. Can I tell you what is moving prices? Always prices higher. You want to know what it's going to be tomorrow? Higher.
TVs are down, Walkmans are down, cell phones are down, but guess what? Hospital costs are up, college universities up, college textbooks, medical, childcare through the roof. I'm telling you, I literally told one of my family members I thought about starting a daycare just to be the owner because it's just a racket. If I can get some decent people to work there, it's a racket. Women are always like, I need somebody to watch my kid. Somebody take my kid. Cool, no problem. We'll do that. Let me finish paying this.
They may say things like, inflation cooled. No, it didn't. It's up. Everything that you want costs a hell of a lot more. Always will. You're in the game. There's no way around it. You are living and breathing. You are currently right smack dab in the board game. If you live in the United States, there is so much opportunity. All you have to do is learn how to click a button. Unless you're making 50% more every single year from your job, you're like, I'd like a 50% raise, please. It needs to be at least 25%. You're not getting that, you're going backwards. That is why you do not hear me come on this channel and say, guys, you need to tighten the belt. No, I'm not a Dave Ramsey guy. I'm not going to tell you to tighten the belt because the belt's going to end up being inverted. Well, you got to pay off your debt and you got to get more jobs. And once you pay off your house, it's never paid off, Dave. Your property tax will always go up. Hospital services will always go up, only by 200%. College tuition up, college textbooks up, anything up.
Food, housing up.
Medical services, not like you ever need that, or childcare. How about food and beverages? Ripping through the roof. Housing gone. Can't even get a new car.
What went down? Cars, household items, clothing, toys, crap you don't need. This is why you see when people sit here and try to argue me about like productive rich people are playing video games. No, they're not. No, they're not. Knock it off, you guys. The hours spending 4 and 5 hours a day, that is poor people looking for cheap entertainment to fill their time. Vices, porn, movies, it'll always like they do this every time there's a recession. Movie theaters make money. That the only time movies are not making money, they're confused because they're like, why isn't Ballerina John Wick movie making money? It's not because men are like, no, I don't like girl boss movies. It's because they don't have money. Did you see how many black people were online gnashing of teeth when Sinners were like, are you going to go see the Sinners movie? I'm going to wait till it's streaming. And then when it went streaming, they're like, they're charging $24. Yeah, the movies would have been $12, but you're going to stay at home and watch for $24? I can't believe this. Other black people were mocking them and going, it's always been $24 when a movie hits Amazon. These people are so poor, they cannot even buy streaming movies. Y'all keep playing people in their face. People have not been paying Amazon no money to stream no movies. They ain't been playing Netflix. They be like, I'll just wait till it's cheaper. When it's cheaper, I'll go get it. You ain't gonna get it. If you can't spare $24 in your budget, like I said, you need to be out the house working. You need to be on the phone. You need a customer service job from home, something, right? If you can't spare $12, Erica, it's not that serious. I'm not going to go see it just because y'all say I should see it. Baby, there are people that they are choosing to not see stuff, and then they're really financially cannot see it. When Kev on stage is like, hey, my tickets are $30 or $50 to see him in a comedy show, he brings on 4 or 5 comedians. It's multiple hours long, and people are like, I'm not paying $50. It's hilarious to me. And I respond and say, well, you can Uber, you can do this, so you can pay your money. I'm not doing that. My money is good over here. No, you're not good. You're barely holding on if a $50 comedy show will break you. You're barely holding on. You're eating ramen noodles. You in a house with maybe one couch and a dirty used chair. You're struggling. And this is the problem. There's no acknowledgement of you're not good. The numbers are not saying you're good. Every time somebody says, well, 80% of people don't make $100K a year, Erica, it doesn't matter. It does. Do you want to be like the dirty, unwashed masses? That's what you're telling me. Okay. When your grandma needs some kind of surgery, some help, right? We have a neighbor in this neighborhood whose literally husband just died. Kids are dead. They're like, well, who's your family? So we can call somebody to come get you because you're suffering from dementia. We don't want to call adult human health services, but that's what's probably going to happen in the next 6 months. My mom and some of these neighbors are going to call adult services to come check on her. It's unfortunate, but that's what's happening in our society. That's why, again, I had the conversation about group homes. That's again why I had a conversation about this other stuff, because that's what's happening. But I don't want you to spend all night with me. So let me finish this out and go on about my business, because y'all be saying I'm being mean to people. I'm hurting people's feelings and all that other crap.
Clothing, furniture. It's like rich people now are ones that have a car. Ooh. And housing completely out of reach. And not even kids. What's the average age of someone who owns a house now? 95. Going to eat at McDonald's now is a luxury. But it's not. It doesn't need to be. Again, MCD. Why is that so hard? MCD. Say it 5 times fast. And let's take a look. Actually, Walmart. We were just talking about that one. Get ready for that one. MCD. Mickey D's. If you're from Australia, it's Macca's. This is where you buy it, right here, and then you go way up there. I think I did this on the show.
Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to go that far into the thing. Whoopsie, my bad. Okay, so anyways, that's all. I'm not. I just want y'all to think outside the box a little bit. Think about your position. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get bumpy, right? I'm not doom scrolling, and I'm really fighting against when everybody's like, oh, everybody's leaving Austin. They're leaving parts of Texas and Florida. They really aren't. They're going to suburbs and they're blowing it up. Where else in America are they going to buy a house for $220, $200, $250, $260 in a yard and have cars and drive and pay $250 for gas, $225 right now in Texas for gas? Ain't nowhere. Same in Florida. Ain't nowhere, right? There's a lot of people online who get paid $20 to $27 an hour doing remote work from home jobs. And they're going to go to cities that can afford to stay in there and they can work from home and have enough space in their house. Okay. And that's still going to be where? Texas and Florida. Let me show y'all this real quick and I'm going to close it out with this. And I'm sorry for dragging this so long, but y'all see this. And when y'all see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. Again, more people will be moving to Texas, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. The data is in. They're going to move. Don't fall for the hype stories that people are moving to California. They're moving to New York. These are paid propaganda stories. How do I know? I'ma just tell you, if you are any type of influencer online or have a social media, I wish I had my Instagram as big as it used to be. They will send you offers. I had over 27 offers to do videos about California and New York, to do videos about people moving. You got paid by different industries, basically pods, all these companies pay, and I'm being careful not to name companies, pay you to make videos and content. They'll pay you $725 a video, $325 a video. They'll pay you $1,200 a video. If you have a bigger channel, you can get thousands more dollars. That's why when you see these people, they were making fun of all the conservatives when they had the food bill where they were going to remove sodas and candies and cakes from food stamps. They paid like over 127 Republican conservatives to do these posts on Instagram and posts on Twitter. Why? It was all the same typing. Because that's what companies do. They're doing these PR moves to say, look, all these people are coming back to California. All these people are coming back from New York. And when you look at the actual data, it's all immigrants. It's all legal immigration. And the data is showing you these people are not moving back to San Fran. These offices are leaving. There's another 150 offices scheduled to leave. Every other month you look over there. So again, believe if you want to. But I'm just going to say this is the quick thing. And I'm going to close it out here. Okay. Food, shelter, job, and basics. Covered. What does covered look like for you? That is the new poor. So get a trade, take a new job. If they offer you money to move, depending on if it makes sense for you, move. Don't sell your house though. Keep your house. Assets like Stockpile app, M1 Finance, E-Trade. Why am I going to recommend stocks or REITs that are easy to get in and out of? It's liquid. It's easy to get in and out. That's why. Next level is hard metal. You can figure out what I'm talking about. Pew, pew, pew. Precious metal and land. Figure it out. Right? Again, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Next from that is going to be rentals, tax deeds, tax liens. Why do I have them pushed so high? I want you focusing on things you can buy and live and acquire or turn around. I would also put slow flips into this where you buy a property. It's going to take you a long time to get it cleaned up, or you buy a piece of land. It's going to take you a minute to put a trailer on it. People do that all the time. Next level is M to M. That's middleman to millions, low tech companies. AI. I've been posting a link about AI companies and posting things. People pretty much are following templates and putting things up, and people, you will still get customers because over the next 24 months, people are going to be looking for opportunities and jobs and ways to work with people and ways to make money. That's going to be a big thing next 24 months. And at the top, franchises. Franchises require you to show a lot of revenue, a lot of net worth, a lot of assets. They require that. So if you want to go to one of these franchises, be like, I want to own a franchise. Well, man, do you have $500,000 in assets? Do you have a house? Do you have cars? Do you have all this stuff? Metals, precious, all the stuff, accounts, annuities. Do you have all this stuff? Yeah, I do. I've been working in white collar for 12 years. Okay, boom, franchise. Some franchises are cheaper than others. But at the end of the day, who are going to win in the next couple years? People that move if they got to for work, if they got to, and they give it they all, wherever the new city and state they're in. Number two is people who are producers, people who own companies, because people be willing to work. I hate to say it for lower. If you tell people at a job, hey, Monday through Thursday you work, Friday you have off, but the pay is a little low, they will take it. They will take it just to have Friday off. Now they may complain online, but they will take it. That's why I told you that 10 to 3, I would love to just do a 10 to 3 company somewhere. People are going to be more than ever like, yeah, I'll do that. Just being honest. It's just as good as it's going to be. I didn't even get to hit the overseas travel. The overseas travel thing I was telling you, I was like Philippines, Thailand, Bali, and a couple other places. What they're experiencing is low sales, low hotel check-ins. And people's like, oh, it's not new. It's not unique. As a man, I'm not going over there because the women ain't giving it to me for $5 anymore. But essentially, the overseas travel is affected because America is affected. Because we're in a global kind of recession. So Nomad Capitalist is affected. All these companies are affected. Okay. Panama just got upset because the Chiquita banana just laid off a bunch of people. But I'll make that a whole nother video. But again, overseas travel's down. You know, you're going to start seeing some very unique numbers coming out this fall. But we'll do another video on this. But again, don't be surprised. You're going to see more people moving. Even though it's cheaper in some parts of the Midwest, even though it's cheaper in parts of Detroit, even though it's cheaper because they need to get to where they can get a job. Even if it's a food service job or they're working 2 food service jobs or they're working or doing something, they need to be where the motion is, where the people are, where they can get some traction, and then they can let go from there. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl, Erica, Classic Line Blog. Sorry to make this video so long. I hope you enjoy your day. Hope you hit all the links and you enjoy the commentary. Make sure you drop ones in the comments and that you like the commentary. Help your girl out. All right, you guys. This is your girl, Erica, Classic on Blog. It's always a blessing to see you guys. Hope you guys are well, rested, and enjoying your summer.
Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams Classy Climb Blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel.